Hey guys, it's Shane here, and today we're going to be dealing with some combinations of functions and graphing them. So we're given our original function here with f and g, and we're just going to find some points here. So we're going to start off with this guy, this guy, this, and for g we'll use relatively the same points. And we're going to want to get the y values of these points. So this is 1, this one's 3, this guy is 0, and 2. This one is 0, negative 3, same here, negative 2, and negative 4. So this question asks us to redraw the graph using these different combinations of functions up here. So for A, it's asking us to add function g to the value for f. So we're going to redraw the graph like so. We're going to take our first point 1 here for f, and we're going to add the value of g to it. So by doing this, we get negative 3, so our new point is going to be over here. Our second point, we're going to add negative 2 to 3, and we're going to get point 1 over here. Third one, we're going to add negative 3 to 0. We're going to be left with negative 3. Next point is also negative 3 and 2, so we're going to get 1 again. Negative 1 rather. And then for our last point, we are going to be adding 2 to 0, so we get 2. So our new graph is going to look a little something like this. And that's graph A. Graph B is asking us to take values of f minus values of g. So we're going to subtract negative 4 from 1, and we're going to get 5. So our new point is going to be right up here. Our next point is 3 subtracted by negative 2, so the point again is going to be at y5. Our next point is going to be 0 minus negative 3, so that's going to be a positive 3. Then we got 2 minus positive 3, which is also going to be 5 again. And our last point is 2 minus 0, which is just going to remain 2. So the graph of B is going to look something like this. Graph C asks us to take g subtracted by values of f. So let's do that. So first value would be negative 4 subtracted by 1. It's going to give us negative 5 here. Next value would be negative 2 subtracted by 3, which is also going to be negative 5. Third value would be negative 3 subtracted by 0, which we'll say at negative 3. Next would be negative 3 subtracted by negative 2, which again is negative 5. And the final point would be 0 subtracted by negative 2 by positive 2, which would give us negative 2, making our graph something like this. So question D asks us to take the negative value of f subtracted by g. So negative value of f would be negative 1 subtracted by g, which would be minus negative 4 or plus 4, which would give us a value of positive 3. Our next value would be negative 3 subtracted by negative 2, giving us a value of -1. And we have 0 subtracted by -3, or adding 3, giving us a point up here, followed by -2 subtracted by -3, which would give us a point at +1. And the final point for graph D would be -2 subtracted by 0, leaving it at -2. So this would be graph D, roughly. And then the final graph, graph E, asks us to multiply the values of f by 2 and add half of the value of g. So to start off with, we'd have 1 multiplied by 2 plus half of -4. So that's 2 plus -2, giving us a point at 0. Our next value would be 3 times 2, so 6, plus half of -2, so that's -1. So that would be at 5. Third value is 0 plus half of -3, which is -1.5. So roughly here. The fourth value is 2 times 2, so 4, plus 1/2 of -3, which is -1.5, giving you, again, the value at 3.5. And our final point will be 2 times 2, so 4, plus half of 0, which is just 0. So the value would be at 4. Roughly, again. Just redraw that. This. Okay, and that's how you combine functions and put them into graphs. Thanks.